Welcome to things you might not have heard for this day, being the 5th day of November 2025. Oh, by the way, we have now beat the record for the longest government shutdown in modern history. And we're not talking about that today. We're going to let that marinate for a few days as there's other things to get into. But yes, officially, Donald Trump has broken his old record that he set as 45. Now it's 47, the longest shutdown. Although technically it's not his fault, as he'll tell you, it's the Democrats' fault. But that's what he'll tell you. But I will tell you that the Conversation Project is your home for headline news, information, and pop culture questions that are worth chatting about. And today, we're talking about last night's big election night, which is a big boon for the Democrats, not the Republicans. On the UPS aircraft crash that is having a lot of people asking lots of questions, and big news for a big turn for Sesame Street, plus 5 other stories to get in for this Wednesday's edition of 8 Stories. Now, if you want to get more details about how we do things, go to our website. This is theconversationproject.com. All the deets are there for you as well. Plus, you can find out links to our partnership and our sponsors pages to help us keep things going. And today, we'll put some love to our spotlight sponsor, which will be Ground News. We'll talk about them in just a bit. Now, let's get into the news for this Wednesday, or technically for yesterday's Tuesday. Stories that you have to deem conversation by engaging with our feeds. And the first one, first up, just going right into there because we got to do that, is the elections. The Democrats scoring big wins across the nation: New Jersey, New York City, Virginia, and California, with Democrats notching marquee wins across these places, gaining an edge in California as the measures to actually change up their voting, change up some of their actual districts there going forward, and some big wins for people putting in place for a nice little slot to sort of preempt for the midterm elections coming up next year. The map mattered where things are going. Suburban turnout and city coalitions outperformed GOP expectations and flipped a handful of local offices into locking down some others across the way. In fact, in New York City, it was record turnout like ever. More people voted in this election for mayor than voted in elections in the last couple of years in some combination. It was pretty big. Now, many affiliates and many folks that were keeping up what's going on in New York's framed the night as momentum check for 2026, basically what to look out for next year. Virginia's statewide contest and New York City's mayoral race, the results were setting the tone. One of the biggest things about the tone, and Mr. Mr. Mondami, who is now your mayor of New York City, or will be in months, is the fact that pundits are saying, yes, he won. It's a referendum on Trump. But here's the kind of thing to kind of back up that one. A Democratic mayor, in most cases, in the past couple of Democratic mayors' wins, have won by more. And Cuomo wasn't off by much and as an independent, although technically he was a Democrat and just kind of there. So if the Democrats should have won, if Cuomo basically split the Democratic vote, technically, there should have been a bigger win for someone like that. Plus, all the things he is approving for or he is talking about, he's got to then go pay for it. That's sort of the problem. He has promised a bunch of stuff, but now he has to figure out how to actually pay for it in his first budget meeting. We'll see how that works out as well. For California, the ballot activity and map decisions are adding to the House tilt subplot, where many states are trying to change their ballots, change how they're divvying up their House ballots and how people are voting there, so they can actually help out in the midterms coming up for Donald Trump in a few years. We'll see how that works out. So a lot of things are up for play now, technically, although they're technically in play next year. Abortion access, schools, public safety, all dominated local persuasions, and national drama, of course, stayed in the background as well. We will see how things will play out going forward. But in the meantime, we have a bit of a preview of what should happen in the next year as real-time actual politicking, real-time actual campaign will go for the 2026 elections, which of course is then a referendum preparing for 2028. A UPS cargo plane crashes after takeoff from Louisville Airport, with residents told to shelter in place after the incident. A UPS MD-11 crashed shortly after takeoff from Louisville's Muhammad Ali International Airport, which triggered a toxic smoke plume and shelter-in-place order for nearby neighbors for quite some time. Officials reported at least 7 people dead and multiple injured as firefighters battled a massive post-impact blaze. The flight was bound for Honolulu, with debris and secondary fires affecting adjacent businesses and hazmat teams occurring in the area. If you've seen some of the video of it where it just basically hit a bunch of containers nearby in the airport, it's a pretty harrowing type of event. The FAA and NSTB investigators are now on the scene after a couple hours getting ready for that one. Early timelines with the crash about 5:15 p.m. local time for the actual incident. Airport operators saw rolling disruptions. Officials urged public to avoid the perimeter while recovery was proceeding. As of right now, everything is cleaned up and ready to go, but it was a very scary deal for many, many hours yesterday. We're not done with Baldoni quite yet. Judge dismisses Justin Baldoni's defamation lawsuit against Blake Lively. Well, or technically, I guess maybe we are done. Sir, he'll find some way to appeal this or fight this going on. But we're not done talking about them because the federal judge has entered a final judgment ending Baldoni's $400 million defamation countersuit tied to It Ends With Us after prior dismissal and no amendment filing. The filing is coming with the ruling echoing June's decision that tossed the related claims and cited protections against consistent and anti-SLAPP practices. Lively's team called the outcome a vindication. Baldoni's camp disputes the legal framing even as the countersuit closes. But he didn't put much of a suit in there, so what's he got to say about it? The underlying misconduct case proceeds on a separate schedule in 2026. So we're not really done with Baldoni quite yet, but his countersuit apparently is done. Coverage emphasizes the chilling effect debate on retaliatory defamation suits in workplace allegations. This is something that may mean more towards you in your regular workplace as opposed to rich people and movie sets that don't seem to be nice people. We shall see. Norway's $1.7 trillion wealth fund is rejecting Musk's record Tesla pay deal. The Norway Sovereign Wealth Fund, which is a top Tesla shareholder, said it will vote against the Musk proposal for the record compensation package that is in the upcoming meeting. Now, this package will make Trump forwarding slip, Musk the first trillion-dollar employee of someplace. But the fund previously opposed Musk's 2018 award, and its stance signals government's concerns despite Tesla's scale and scope. Pro-Musk investors point to performance, while others warn that without president, this could be a very, very, very big thing that could cause a lot of issues to ripple going forward in all business, not just for the Teslas. Board elections and employee stock plan are also in crosshairs, adding to stakes to the vote as well. Expect proxy advisor recommendations to shape remaining undeciders ahead of the actual tally. And this is a big deal. Will they make Trump? I keep doing that. Will they make Musk the next trillion-dollar man, the first trillion-dollar man? We will have to see. Taking a pause from the news for just a minute, going into the sales mode and selling you on us. We need your help. We need you to be a part of the family and help us grow what we have going here. Like, share, and subscribe to the work you're seeing so that we can get more people involved and grow as a News Nerd Nation. If you like the videos you're watching or some of the content we're doing out there, more people will get a chance to see it because algorithms will say this is worthy of being shown to other folks. It's like that. Also, if you like it, you tell me you like it. You tell me I'm doing good stuff and good work, and we'll do more of it so you can get more of that stuff going forward. Share with like-minded people so that more people be involved in the works, and they will hopefully engage, enjoy it as well. And if you're not getting this natively in your feed, subscribe so it comes to you directly via the algorithms, or not even algorithms, via the sources for YouTube, for X, for Facebook, and not just an algorithm hit that gets you happy, lucky every so often. Like, share, and subscribe so we can grow our News Nerd Nation coverage. Donald Trump says he's going to help Dilbert creator Scott Adams gain access to cancer treatment. This was said recently as Scott Adams trying to secure Pluvicto, a targeted radiological therapy for metastatic prostate cancer. Adams posted about insurance and access to hurdles to get to this drug, and Public Exchange moved the niche drug into its mainstream discourse. Basically, the whole Obamacare going down, meaning your cost of drugs now costs up. This is a person who's literally dealing with this because now his exchange rates are up, and getting this critical care has a big deal. Now, because a guy knows a guy knows a guy, apparently Trump is going to do his best to get the Dilbert guy access to this drug. Health policy angle on this one is pretty much expanded indications that outpace the payer policies. High-profile scarcity fights are just as big as other folks. Having a name that may mean something, may meant something more a decade ago than it is now, as Scott Adams has become sort of a interesting character in politics, it still means something going forward. For the politically minded, the assist from Trump fits sort of the Trump's retail intervention pattern. He helps folks he likes, helps people that seem to know, and even some folks he doesn't know, as we found out lately that he pardoned somebody he said he doesn't know about because his sons put something in front of his face or something. But oncology experts are cautioning against case by case pressure eclipsing evidence based pathways. We're going to find out whether Adams actually is a good candidate for this drug and for this treatment, as opposed to just it's out there, he's rich ish, he's famous ish, he should get a shot at it. New life for Sesame Street, by the way, as they unveil a fresh new look as it heads to Netflix soon. Netflix is becoming the new home for the reimagined Sesame Street, and starting at season 56, which kicks off in 5 days from now, November the 10th, with new formats, original music, and PBS simulcast in the US. So PBS does not lose its deal with Sesame Street and the Children's Broadcasting Network, or what they call that now today. But it is get a new look as it's being done first run now on Netflix. The refresh keeps legacy characters while shifting to tighter character-led stories per episode. Bubba Wallace headlines early guest spots as producers aim for global reach in 30 plus languages. A new strategy for Netflix and for obviously for Sesame Street, adding a prestige kids anchor while Sesame Street Workshop is actually diversifying its distribution in the new Max era window, getting out of its old window and its very old window of PBS to get more branding and obviously make more money to stay viable. Brand partnerships and games to extend beyond the new season's footprint. We expect a great year for the new season 56 of Sesame Street, and want to see this thing go on forever as far as whoever is in whatever format it can be. And what the good thing about this is Sesame Workshop is actually upgrading. They're actually evolving. They're making the way to get the classic stuff and classic education in a new form that will survive the next millennia. What may not survive is Pizza Hut, as the parent company is considering selling the iconic pizza chain. Yum Brands has confirmed that it's reviewing strategy alternatives. It's looking for ways to get Pizza Hut out of its portfolio, possible sale of the storied pizza chain. This move follows lagging U.S. camps and heavy capex needs for store modernization versus faster growing sister brands. Franchisees' reaction is split, with the balance sheet relief versus the uncertainty over new ownership playbook. Basically, how will we work with the new Pizza Hut if it's not working so well now? How can we fix it and go better? Or do we give it to somebody else and let them try to do their own thing with it? Any deal would reshape the Yum's portfolio and the U.S. pizza landscape at once. Yum Brands, which owns many, many, many of the great things you like to eat, has been really sort of held up by, or held, I guess the pun can be intended in there, by Pizza Hut, having a stalwart as a backup grab for its actual portfolio. Pizza Hut, a very long-standing pizza brand and with very, very loved by many folks, doing lots of changes in the last decade or so to modernize itself. And some things working, some things not, moving more further away from actually being a Pizza Hut or places you go to eat the pizza to what they can do to deliver to you as fast and as convenient as possible. Watch for financing costs and refinancing for what they need to do to terms to make sure the valuations are good. Are the buildings viable? Are the franchises viable? Are you eating more Pizza Hut rather than Domino's, rather than Papa John's, rather than your local guy? This all makes a big difference. And finally, heroes don't all wear capes. We talked about and we mourned the loss, some mourned more than others, of 84-year-old Dick Cheney yesterday. And we talked about him yesterday, had a hot take. We're done with that. Today, we focus all our grief, all our love, all our pain, but all our joy to Duane Roberts, creator of the frozen burrito, who died this week at the age of 88. The entrepreneur credited with popularizing the frozen burrito and later restoring Riverside Missions Inn died at 88, his family said. Roberts scaled Butcher Boy food products around the innovation of the late 1950s, changing the freezer aisles for decades. Obituaries rose across the nation, noting the parallel legacy in real estate and philanthropy across Southern California. A good guy doing good guy things for all of us, California specifically, and burrito for all of us around the world. Media remembers lean into the cultural impact. Mexican-inspired convenience food goes mainstream based on Mr. Reed and his work. Services are pending. Mission Inn plans a tribute to talk about their long-standing benefactor and the man who made us all, at least me, about 10 pounds heavier in college based off of the frozen burritos. we are wrapping up our news coverage for the day, and we're moving into more news coverage. Now, what's really interesting about the news right now, especially as we are seeing the responses, the replies, the results from the elections last night, is a lot of people want to know what this means for them. So, what does this mean for you? Ground News can help you figure out what this means for all of us by giving you bigger details into the news stories that you're seeing. You may see a story that may have a bit of a slant that you don't quite understand. Use Ground News to check out other headlines on that story to see exactly where it's coming from and literally where it's coming from. The headline is something that's written and it's put out there for your clickbait in this, but also it's about the actual product behind the service. Is the actual company behind the brand. Is who's actually funding the level of journalism from your favorite brands, and whether they're doing it to influence you, which they are, or to not influence you, which technically they are. Now, you can also use the Vantage plan that is used from Ground News and use their blind spot feature, which shows you stories that are being overly played out by certain sectors of the news media. If you are a red type person, looking for conservative type media, you'll see the stories that are being overly played on conservative side and find out what stories are actually not being played at all, because believe it or not, you're being sold. You're being pushed a message, because they all do that. And your guy says it's the other guys. Trust me, it's your guys too. You can check it out and get a great deal, 40% off the Vantage plan for Ground News that gets you your news and the blind spot feature for less than $10 a month by going to this is the conversationproject.com/ground news. This is conversationproject.com/ground news. And you can get the great news for you, or maybe it's not so great news because you'll find out things that you were being hidden from you. But check it out. We get a small affiliate click back for this one because it's an affiliate link, but it's Ground News. Will take good care of you and your news. Now, our website home is this is conversationproject.com. Our website or our email address is theconversationinbox@gmail.com. I'm Jake Payne. I do my best to give you these newscasts every single weekday morning so you get a chance to chat up some good stories. And you help us pick the stories to chat up. These are literally a conversation by you engaging with us on Facebook and X and telling those stories are good there. It's that simple. Today has been Wednesday, November the 5th, 2025. I am Jake Payne, as I said many times in this program. Thank you so much for being a part of the show. Now, I do have another extra ask. Yesterday, I told you about the serious health scare I had over the weekend. I do need, we need some help. We talked about the like, share, and subscribe. We talked about the sponsors, talked about partnerships. We need some more responses. I need feedback. I need some yelling back and forth, because well, to basically know that I'm not just spitting into the ocean, not just shot into the dark. I'm making to make sure that I have something going on. There are some people who do speak, kind of speak to me in these things as well. But as a small channel, and a very small channel that isn't quite supportive of itself quite yet, it's a lot of work, a lot of effort, and there's a whole lot of things that must be taken care of, especially right now, handling right now on going forward. So I need to know I got the support, I got the love. The man from Tennessee will pop up today. He'll tell me it's there. Beautiful wife and some family will pop in as well. But I need some, random stuff and just some there. So comment in the comments for videos. Tell me what the heck going on. Send me some emails so we can chat those back and forth and do some work. Yes, I'm begging a bit, but at some point in time, you don't ask, you don't get. Love you. Mean it. We out of here for today.